Today, I want to talk about self-doubt because last night I had this realization that the only thing that's stopping me from living the life that I want to live is the fact that I doubt myself, the fact that I don't believe in myself. And, I just realized that I was having all these thoughts that, like, my dreams are just too big for me to hold. So they're just going to stay dreams, they're just going to be fantasies. When that's not true, because you have to realize that, like, people are limitless. Every person is limitless. You have infinite fucking potential, okay? And that includes myself, even though I like to sit here and lie to myself. And I think admitting that you have so much potential can be a really hard pill to swallow, because once you realize that, then you have to recognize that you've kept yourself in this box for so many years of your life, telling yourself that you're limited. And it's hard to accept that you have wasted so much of your time just, let's be honest, like taking L's, okay? But I mean, honestly, I woke up today and I was just like, okay, I gotta fucking fix this. I gotta believe in myself. So it took me about 3 hours and I figured out some tools, some mindset shifts, and some things that I'm like, I don't know, I just want to share with people. So let's get right into it. I want to start right off the bat with some actual tools that you can use, because I just feel like the action is always more valuable than inspiration. So number one, EFT tapping. And hear me out on this, okay? Don't immediately just call me like fucking weird and woo-woo and shit. I have been doing EFT tapping for about a month or two now, and I gotta say, lately, fear and anxiety have been sucking my fucking dick. And I don't know, take that as you will. Like, I just mean, when you're sitting there, you might feel goofy, you're tapping on different fucking parts of your face and your body and shit, but it's like, I don't know, it's truly something that whenever I'm feeling doubt, I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling angry, if I need a confidence boost, like anything, I will just look up EFT tapping videos, specifically with Brad Yates. He is my favorite. He's like the GOAT. He's the best at that shit. So check out Brad Yates on YouTube. He's fucking amazing. It has helped me with so many areas of my life, and I did my first tapping for self-doubt today, and I was like, shit, I just played the video over 2 times. The video was like 5 minutes long, and that's the reason that I'm sitting here recording this video, because I had initially told myself that, like, I still have all this self-doubt, that, like, who am I to be making a video about this? But I want to make videos that I feel like I can relate to, or I want to talk about stuff that's relatable to me, and I want to talk about the shit that I'm going through, because I'm trying to help myself, and I think that I can help other people while simultaneously helping myself. So EFT tapping, it's great. If you want to do EFT on fucking crack, then make yourself really emotional by, like, listening to a song that makes you really emotional, or like look up like a sad scene from a movie that always makes you cry or some shit. And then I also like to look in the mirror while I do tapping, because it just is that much more powerful when you have to, like, face yourself and do it. Definitely though, be careful, don't, if it's your first time doing EFT tapping, don't do something really intense, because you can have a lot of, like, these really intense emotions, and if you're doing it alone and you don't have anybody to help you, and you're not really good at regulating your emotions, like, be careful. You can start out with something super simple, just like, here's how to manifest money and love, blah blah blah. Like, you can do some easy shit. Second thing is affirmations. This one's super common. Everybody's heard of affirmations. I still not feel like affirmations worked. I thought they were just like bullshit that was like just like I thought it was a waste of time. However, affirmations can be really powerful if the words that you're saying have a sort of emotional charge behind them. And what I mean by this is like make up your own affirmations, right? Don't just sit here and say, I'm rich. Like, and you don't feel anything. It's not lighting up any sort of spark in you. Like, the affirmations that I tell myself are words that mean a lot to me. Like, I use the word freedom a lot in my affirmations. And you don't have to talk to yourself like in this super, you don't have to use these like super big words that don't really even make sense to you, you know? You don't have to be like, I am a magnet of abundance if that doesn't like do anything for you. Like, you could sit here, like, your affirmation could just be like, I'm a bad bitch, I'm a bad bitch, fuck you. That could be your fucking affirmation. Like, make it personal. And if it's not something that makes you emotional in any way, throw it out the window. Quit fucking using it. It's not gonna work. Sorry to tell you. Third thing is talking to your younger self. And what I like to do is I have a little picture of myself when I was like 8 years old. And I keep it by my bedside table so then I can just talk to it when I'm chilling in bed. And listen, you might feel silly and ridiculous when you do this, but it's actually so healing because when you're doubting yourself and you feel like you might be your own worst critic and you might say the worst things to yourself, right? And you might tell yourself, you know, if you have a goal, if you have a dream, you might be sitting here saying, it's just not possible for me. I don't deserve this. People like me don't have this. You know, not where I come from. You know, all the lies and excuses that you tell yourself. You would never, at least I hope, you would never say the shit that you say to yourself to a child, right? You would never tell a kid that their dreams are unimportant, that they need to be more fucking realistic. You would never tell a kid that, you know, they're just too fucking stupid to do anything. You would never like verbally beat a child up, I hope. So when you look at this picture of a younger self, what I like to do is I talk about her dreams to her, about the things that she imagined, because all of my dreams are the same ones that I've had since I was a kid, even when I tried to suppress them. Now that I've, you know, there was a time in my life where I had told myself, no, this is what I want. And then when I was able to do some self-discovery and kind of come back to myself in certain ways, I realized that I still want all the same shit that I wanted when I was a kid. So, you know, just, and if you don't have like a physical photo, obviously you could just look at a picture on your phone or some shit. Or if you're an artist, you could even draw a picture of yourself, talk to it. You know, I just like look at this photo of myself and I'm just like, dude, your dreams are so important. You matter so fucking much. I'm just like, and I tell myself, even when I think about like, I even talk to my younger self about the doubt that I had then. I'm like, dude, I'm sitting right here. I believe in you. You know, I tell myself, you gotta believe in yourself, even though this younger version of me technically doesn't exist anymore and it's just you know, the young part of myself is just a memory. It's still, you're talking to yourself to a certain extent, you know, and you're healing the things that, you know, that you're healing the hurtful stuff from your past that keeps you stuck now. So that's some shit. Okay, and obviously, if you want to, you know, the opposite of self-doubt is self-assurance or self-trust. You want to be able to start trusting yourself. So how can you do this? Set realistic goals. And I know sometimes that can be hard to hear, because when you have a goal, when you have a dream, you want it immediately. You want that instant gratification. You want to wake up tomorrow and have that fucking thing. I mean, shit, you want to blink and you want it to be right in front of your face. Okay, let yourself dream big, let yourself daydream, let yourself fantasize. But when it comes to setting goals, be realistic. And I don't mean, like, when people tell you to be realistic and do shit that isn't fucking fun. Like, if you have to make all of your goals fun in order to get them done, fucking do it. It's worth it, okay? It's worth it, because when you are constantly making promises to yourself that you don't keep up with, that you don't, keep up with, you're going to doubt yourself. And that's pretty self-explanatory, I feel. Because it's like, sometimes you have to take a step back and think about all the promises that you make to yourself. Like, think about if a friend had made you all those promises, right? If a friend had told you, I'm gonna take you to the gym every day, I'm gonna practice guitar all day, I'm gonna go for a run every day, I'm gonna swim every day, I'm gonna study every day with you. And then they don't. Maybe they tell you they're gonna take you out, buy you dinner, buy you some nice dinner, fucking whatever. And they don't fucking do it. You don't want to be friends with that person. You're not gonna trust them. Everything that comes out of their mouth might as well just be a fucking lie. And you are basically, it's like, psychologically just fucking yourself when you say that you're going to do all this shit and you're making yourself all these false promises. And listen, don't compare yourself to other people or other people's goals. Everybody starts somewhere, okay? If you think, like, I don't know why I'm thinking about these, like, sports fucking analogies, whatever, but, like, let's say you want to eventually run a marathon, right? You're not just gonna wake up and go fucking, like, run that marathon just because, like, Susie McGee is like, yep, here's how many miles I run each day, blah, 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 so then I can do a marathon, okay? You're not gonna be, like, if you are not active whatsoever, you're not gonna be running for miles and miles a day. That's just not how it's gonna work out, bro. Like, sometimes you might just take 2 steps out of your fucking door and call it good. And that's all you can do for the day. Fuck it. Okay? And let the really small shit that you do, the minuscule fucking shit that you do for yourself, feel proud of yourself. Feel good, okay? If you brush your teeth every day, feel good about that. If you make your bed, feel good about it. If you get out of bed, feel good about it. We all start somewhere. Okay? We all start somewhere. Even if it's the bottom of the fucking barrel, do small shit. Just do little things. Maybe you're like me. You play an instrument. You're telling yourself, yeah, I want to play for 8 hours a day, bro. Like, I'm gonna go crazy on this shit. And then you don't fucking do it. Okay? And then it kind of makes you, then you start to resent playing that instrument. You start to resent that goal, which is only gonna make you push it away further. Okay? So now I'm just like, you know what? For now, I'm just gonna play the guitar when I feel like it. Fully. Because, honestly, I have bigger priorities right now. I got bigger fish to fry. And when I feel really inspired and when my energy's up, I'll play it. But for right now, I'm kind of just letting it go. You know, I know that I love the guitar, I know that I love music and I love playing instruments, but it doesn't really feel like a priority for me right now. And my life is not going to be over because I missed a few days of practicing guitar. I know that. But I'm not going to sit here and tell myself, yeah, I'm going to play guitar every single day and blah, 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 blah. Because then I'm just not going to be happy. I'm going to shit on myself. I'm not going to feel good about it. You know, my self-confidence will crumble. It's no fucking good. So, you know, build habits, set goals, build routines that are realistic and that feel good to you. When it comes to our routines, you know, we're creatures of habit, okay? If all of your habits right now feel like they're negative and like they're not working out for you, if you want to set new ones, realize that you're not a fucking robot, okay? You're not gonna like mechanically move throughout your fucking day to do all the shit that you need to get done because emotionally, you're just gonna fuck yourself up. You're gonna get depressed. You're not gonna like, and I'm speaking from experience with this. Setting goals and trying to build routines that don't feel good, that don't like emotionally charge me in a positive way, they never work out. And people are gonna tell you, you know, you need to have, you know, you need to be like crazy disciplined, but like, discipline is important, yes. Sometimes you're gonna have to do shit when you don't feel like it. But if you don't believe that you are able to get shit done when you don't feel like it, you're not going to. It all comes back to you doubting yourself. So when you're building habits, make sure that they make you feel alive, right? I think that's something that's really important to me. You know, and I think that kind of comes like with how people talk about like romanticizing your life, right? Romanticize the shit that you have to get done. Make it fun. If there is a way to do it, just have a little bit of childlike wonder and whimsy. It's not really that hard. Next thing. This doesn't really have to do with trusting yourself. This is more just for when you need motivation. Create a playlist that makes you feel fucking powerful and like that makes you feel like you can do anything. I have a Spotify playlist. I'll link it down below if you want to listen to it, if you want some inspiration, whatever. Music's super fucking powerful. Most people listen to music, so you might as well like play some shit that makes you feel good, okay? When I feel like I don't want to work out, okay? I don't want to do the shit that I have to do. I just put on 3 6 Mafia. Gonna be honest here. Because you can't listen to 3 6 Mafia all day and just constantly be taking L's. Like, something like it's just not possible, okay? Or Future. Bro, you can't listen to Future and be like lazy. You just like it's just not possible, bro. It's just not fucking possible. Future is gonna make you get up off your ass and do shit. Also, the playlist that I have below, it's a lot of hip hop. So if you don't like hip hop, then don't click on the playlist. It's not for you, okay? The music that makes you feel powerful, makes you feel good about yourself, totally different for everybody. So do what you will. Next is be gentle with yourself. Oftentimes when I go to watch YouTube videos about self-help, I think, okay, this video is going to change the whole trajectory of my life. I'm not going to have a single problem after I watch this video. Not true. You're still going to struggle. You're still going to fail. You are still going to feel doubtful. You're going to have self-doubts even after watching this. It's about making self-trust, like, a part of your lifestyle, bro. It's not just, like, a one and done thing. Like, you can't just, like, make your bed once and then be like, yup, I'm perfect now. Nothing in my life is ever gonna be wrong again. Not true. You gotta do that day in, day out, over and over and over. It's a very repetitive process. Okay? So just while all this is happening, you don't need to have it all figured out. It's okay to still have feelings of doubt. It's okay because you're human, okay? Every single fucking person on this earth feels or has felt self-doubt before. It's just a part of being a fucking person. And anybody who has ever told you that they've never doubted themselves, bro, they're a fucking liar. Get the fuck out of there. Don't listen to that. You are so powerful. You have so much potential to be so fucking expansive. But it's okay that you might not feel that way right now. That you haven't felt that way in the past. That there might be times in the future where you don't feel that way. You have a full fucking spectrum of emotions. Life happens. There's shit that's going on around you. You have all of these beliefs in your mind, in your subconscious, that have been there inside of you for so fucking long. Okay? It's going to take some time to get to a place where you don't doubt yourself. It's going to take some time to figure out how to build that trust with you in a way that works, okay? There's a lot of trial and error that goes into this. You're a person, okay? You're basically a child, bro. Like, give yourself a fucking hug. Give yourself a hug. Be sweet to yourself because you deserve it, because you're valuable, okay? There's no need to constantly just be jabbing at yourself. You're special. You have crazy potential. It's all going to work out. And as long as you're here, you're alive, you could change in an instant. You could. You do have that possibility. So even in those moments where, you know, you might be like, today I gave up. Okay. You have tomorrow. You're not going to bed yet. There's still time today to change your life, to face this self-doubt, and to grow past it, okay? You're not somebody that, you don't need to fix yourself. You need to accept what's going on, and you need to be open to expanding to bigger things. I think for me, what has stopped me time and time again from trusting myself, from letting myself accept opportunities, is the fact that I felt so overwhelmed. Being overwhelmed is not necessarily a bad thing. And this is something that I've had to learn, and I'm still learning. I used to think that the second I got overwhelmed, I had to stop everything. I had to let it all go. I had to take a fucking bath. I had to just throw that fucking overwhelm, that massive amount of energy within me. I had to throw it away. That's not true. Overwhelm is, it's like the door, it's like the key to your expansion. Overwhelm, when you are growing and you are changing, it makes sense. It's totally fucking logical. Because it's like, your life was one way. Your life had this, like, certain energy in it, okay? And now, when you're bringing new things in, when you're changing, it's growing. That energy, like, it's growing your life, your perspective, your surroundings, your opportunities. It's growing, it's becoming larger. Which means that there's like, there's more, you feel this sense of like pressure on you. You feel, when you're, it's like, it's like growing pains. Overwhelm is just basically, it's like, I just view it as like a growing pain. That's what overwhelm is to me. And I don't know, I feel like I explained that really badly. But maybe that resonates. Maybe it doesn't. You don't need to take advice from people who doubt themselves. You don't need to take advice from people who don't care about their own expansion. This is something I've always felt very strongly about. I've always been really careful about who I take my advice from, about who I listen to, about whose guidance I accept, because somebody who is too afraid to make changes in their own life, somebody who's too afraid to look at their own self-doubt and do self-reflection, they're not going to advise you to do that because they view self-doubt as a scary thing. They view it as something to be afraid of. They view it as the enemy. So, I don't know. I don't really have a lot more to expand on that one. I just thought that was like notable. Okay, last thing I have to say is, in order to move on from self-doubt, you have to accept that it's there in the first place. You don't need to run from your emotions. Your emotions can be your greatest weakness or your greatest strength. I feel like I've really been in the process of making my emotions my greatest strength, because I used to be, and when I say used to be, I literally mean yesterday, like so torn up about my emotions, telling myself that my emotions are what keep me down, saying that they're bad, that they're what's, like feeling like I wish I could just completely detach myself from feeling anything. That's what I wanted. But you don't need to do that, okay? Emotions are a part of the human experience. Everybody feels emotions. I said this earlier, but I don't know, I feel the need to reiterate this. Doubting yourself it's okay. It's okay, and I just want to make that clear. When you let that doubt completely define your entire existence, that's when it's a problem. That's the only time it's a problem. And if you do let your self-doubt define your entire existence, I did that for like 17 years. And I didn't figure out how to change it till today. You might be older than me and thinking to yourself, I've let it go on for even longer than that. It's okay. When you are looking at people who have what you want and have accomplished the things that you want to accomplish, it can be so easy to look at the gap between yourself and that person, right? You can say, this person, they grew up with a trust fund, they had everything handed to them. They never had to really work for anything in their life. I want you to try to find people who are either currently at the same, they're in your environment, they're physically around you, but you can also do this with people on the internet. Find people who have come from what you have come from, who are in a very similar situation, because that will, and it might trigger you. It might make you feel like, this is so unfair. me and this person have come from the same thing. They have it and I don't. That pisses me off. That might happen. You might get triggered. But being triggered can be a good thing. You can channel that anger into motivation, into getting the shit. Because when you look at people who have come from the same shit that you have, and you see that it is possible for them, you realize that it's also completely possible for you. And that might piss you off because then you can't make excuses for yourself anymore. When you can look at, Susie McGee. Susie McGee has, she said she's had all these opportunities. Everything's been handed to her. She hasn't had to do shit. And you do, and so you can say, well, I have a reason to be here. I have a reason that I can stay here and stay the same person. But when you look at people who have come from your environment, who have grown up the way that you have had the same experiences, and they are successful as fuck, what's your excuse now? Somebody who is the same as you has done what you wanted to do. What the fuck is your excuse? Okay, I said that was gonna be the last thing, but I actually have one more thing I want to share. I was writing in my journal, and if you're still here, another tip, journaling is fucking amazing. You can, nice journal prompt. What can I do to start trusting myself today, right now, in this moment? What can I do? Action's amazing. It makes you feel powerful. It's going to help you so much more than scouring the internet for inspiration. Action is amazing. I'm not going to read everything that I wrote down here, but I will read just the little last part. I said, so I was writing to myself. I said, who are you? You are who I was yesterday. That's what I was sort of like writing this letter before to my old self. So, who are you? You are who I was yesterday. And who I was yesterday is different than who I am today. You are the past. I'm tired of living in a memory. I want to live right here and now, where the possibilities are endless and the trajectory of my life can change in an instant. Okay? Hello? Forget who you were yesterday. Forget about who you've been your whole life. It's irrelevant. Who you were yesterday is not important because they don't exist anymore. The only you that exists is you right here and now. You don't have to define yourself by the shit that happened to you yesterday, the shit that you did, the shit that you thought. You don't have to define yourself that way. You don't even have to define yourself, period. Be fucking limitless, dude. Change the trajectory of your life for the fuck of it. Because you can. Because you have that much fucking freedom. Another thing. Self-doubt can come up in some really tricky ways. If you ever find yourself worried about what other people think, it's only because you doubt yourself. And I had to think on this for a minute today. Because I have plans to see some family tomorrow. And I was thinking to myself, if I can be super confident now, if I'm super authentic, I'm super myself, what are they going to think of me? I was thinking about today all the changes that I've decided to make, that I have made, like, within my mindset. And I thought to myself, wait a second. I wouldn't be worried about this if I had trusted myself, if I was absolutely 100% sure that this change is going to stick, that I'm really going to commit this time. Okay, whatever people have to say about you, it doesn't fucking matter unless you're worried that it's true. So when people tell you, if you're afraid of people telling you that you're not good enough, if you're afraid of people telling you that, you're a fraud, you're an imposter, you're X, Y, and Z, It's because some part of you believes that that could actually be true. And that's okay. Again, don't freak out about this. Or do freak out about it. It's okay to freak out. It's okay to feel your fucking emotions. It's okay to be fucking scared. It's okay to realize that you might not be as okay as you thought you were. You can be going through a really dark time and you can still feel so fucking alive. You can still find so much fucking meaning in your life, even when it feels like everything around you is falling apart. Even when you feel like you are your own worst enemy. Dude, there are so many fucking amazing things that you can take away from that. That's all I have to say. I think I'm done now. I think I've covered everything. You're a bad bitch. A bad bitch. Okay? Be a baddie. Accept yourself for who the fuck you are. And actually, try out the shit that I said to do. Because sitting here watching me on this fucking screen, looking for inspiration, and not actually applying any of the shit that I gave you is never going to get you any further in life. And maybe, I mean, you don't even have to use the tools necessarily, but if you have your own tools in mind, try it, bro. You're a fucking, be a science experiment. Trial and error. Okay? People who never fail also never succeed. Total blanket statement there. Total fucking wishy-washy whatever quote there for ya. But it's true. Anyways, see you later, baddies.